Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the troubled teen industry, excuse me, folks, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please pay special attention to the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The JRC doesn't want you to read that article so much. They have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. Well, folks, NeuroClastic has refused. Please read that article and share it on all your social media. We also have in there NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to the GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC sees through with their threat. I'm sorry, folks, I can't talk. I am overexhausted. All right. Trigger warning. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please utilize those headphones. Second trigger warning. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised, all right? All right, where we left off. The agency, though, did not extend its ban to encompass the electrical stimulation devices intended to treat other conditions. Here's my question. Why do they need to include the other skin shock stimulation devices in order for this to go through? Explain it to me like I'm 5. All right? Explain it to me like I'm 5. Why are we convoluting other devices with the GED device and demanding that the FDA go all or nothing? That doesn't make any sense. This is a particular medical device, only related to the other devices in question on a superficial level. It's not tailoring to ban a device outright. You can't call it tailoring because they did not include every single skin shock device known to man in regards to their decision. Okay? That does not make any coherent sense whatsoever. Except on a bare surface level, these devices are different as night and day. Okay? It makes no sense to me that in order for this to have passed and not been reversed, is that they have to include the other skin shock devices because they are not relevant to the subject at hand. All right? God, it bothers me. The devices, for instance, can be used to treat smoking addiction. When used for that purpose, the agency found the devices present a different and acceptable benefit risk profile. My question is again, what does this have to do with the price of beans? Nobody's using the GED device to stop smoking. All right? Why are we trying to treat all skin shock devices as the same? Why is the FDA not allowed to use their authority to ban one particular device, which is their right, okay? Which is their right, and demanding instead that for this to pass, all the other devices must be banned as well, which are completely unrelated again to the subject matter at hand. Now, let me say it again. What else is on a superficial level is the design. Okay? Understand this. These items are not designed the same. Okay? That is the part because a smoker typically controls the device. It can stop its use when it causes undue pain. And she can also communicate any harmful symptoms to a healthcare provider. By contrast, persons with intellectual or developmental disabilities receiving treatment for self-injurious or aggressive behaviors often do not control the electrical stimulation devices that they wear. Let me make it clear to you. They do not get the control shit. All right? They're not allowed to make any decisions in regards to their own treatment programs. They are not consenting and pushing the shock button on themselves, all right? It's not how any of this works. Are controlled by a third party, thank you, or automatically trigger upon detecting certain movement. Freaking God. Ever have one of those motion sensor lights? We'll go ahead and close on this. What do sensor lights do? They mark movement. Why do people use these particular devices? These devices are used a lot, particularly by those who live out in the country and outside the city, miles away from civilization. You get where I'm going with here, right? If it's designed to mark certain movements, somebody who causes a strobe, that light, that sensor to kick off, does not automatically mean that that individual is there to rob you. All right? That is nonsensical. To then try to defend that and say, but it's stopping self-injurious behavior. These are the movements that you make before you have a behavior. If I put one foot in front of the over, in front of the over, blah, in front of the other, jeez. And I do that before I engage a behavior. Is that going to trigger that thing? Probably. You have no way knowing whether that particular movement is benign or leading to a behavior. These folks are not psychics. All right? Again, I'm not understanding why we are convoluting the SIBIS device and the GED and all the other skin shock devices as one thing that must be banned across the board or they can't be banned at all. That makes no coherent sense because nobody's trying to quit smoking using the GED device. Okay? All right, we're going to go ahead and close on that, folks. I know it's short and sweet and I sound kind of dumb, but in my defense, I am exhausted and it's getting harder and harder to be able to string a coherent sentence together. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. Folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit those comments. I do appreciate your time tonight. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time.